What is up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and I am back with another toy review. This time it is the Movie Masters Green Lantern Kilowog. I managed to get this for my birthday, actually, and which was this past weekend. And it's kind of sad, too, because earlier this week, and what is it, 2 days after my birthday, Michael Clarke Duncan passed away, which sucks. But, you know, rest in peace, homie. You're going to be remembered. But I figured, you know, in honor of all that, let's marvel at this awesome figure representation of the character he played in that horrible movie, Green Lantern. Everything that you saw in the movie is here, as far as the character design goes. The sculpt is dead on. All the details are there. He looks the part. He doesn't look like a cheap imitation toy version of what you saw in the movie. And then the cool thing about the Movie Masters is that they fit in the your regular Green Lantern setup. You know, they're not too different that they don't fit. I mean, there are textures, but if you look at all the different suits, all the different Green Lanterns have different, you know, feels and different looks to them. So it's really easy to, you know, set them amongst your Green Lantern collection, and they don't feel like, you know, they stand out too much. You know what I'm saying? At least the colors are very close, and I dig that. My only gripe with this figure is that the articulation, and this is with all the Movie Masters, is that they all have weird articulation that doesn't mimic what Mattel usually does on all their other DC-related figures. Because even the the Batman Movie Masters figures have the DCUC articulation. You know, so that's the only problem. But besides that, he's here. It's all Kilowog movie style in his crustacean glory, because I don't know what it is about American concept artists and, you know, movie designers. They've got this fetish for crustaceans when they think about aliens. And, you know, if you really think about it, we have crustaceans on our planet, which doesn't make them very alien. But anyway, all those details are present on this figure. From his head to his toes, and his weird toes, you know. I love that. He's got this big, like, rhino kind of feel to him, and it works, you know. I like the weird abdomen section. I really dig how, you know, you've got crustacean armor, but then he's got, like, very organic, kind of soft-looking skin for his, you know, on his head and his hands. That works for me. And I haven't said it yet, but this figure is massive. I really love it. I really love it. I mean, he stands about the same height as most of the Collect and Connect figures, especially Stell, which you'll see later on. But his feet, expertly sculpted. He has a little bit of a rocker joint there, too. He does not have double-jointed knees, which is not a surprise because most of the DCUCs do not. I think there's like a handful of figures that do. His hands, he has that joint, the you know, up and down joint that the Green Arrow had, and that many of the Green Lantern Movie Masters have. And he also still has his swivel. The ring is expertly detailed. Like I said, no details are lost on this figure. It's just nice. This figure was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I forgot to mention, and I managed to get a good deal on mine. But I was hooked up by a homeboy in the DCUC community on Facebook, so I was happy about that. Very happy. Thank you, Rats Collectibles. But like I said, crustacean glory. All of it is here. The armor looks like crab shell. You know what I mean? That's the best thing I can compare it to. Or even some kind of, you know, exoskeleton from a bug or something. Ears, his jaw, his eyes, there's no slop. Everything is there. There's this nice little wash over everything. It's two different types of washes, though. One on his head, which gives him a little bit of depth, and it's not overdone like some of the customizers do where the figure looks dirty. No, this looks natural. If you're not really paying attention, you won't notice it because it almost feels like shadow. His brow, I love the way his brow is sculpted, because at certain angles it gives him a different kind of expression, and that's what you need with these kind of figures, because you want to have a figure that in different situations he kind of gives you a different feel, you know what I mean, along with the posability. The Green Lantern symbol is there in its glory. It looks nice. You can see that he's got the different kind of abdomen, which was present in the movie. Even his biceps and triceps and all of that, and forearms, there's these little like hanging pieces of like armor almost. That's what it looks like, hangy flesh, but you can tell it's armor, and it works. Like I said before, no double jointed knees. He doesn't have the H joint for his legs. Instead, he has the regular, ball socket hip joints, and I dig that. Now here he is standing next to Stell. If I had him looking all the way up, he's exactly the same height as Stell, but you can see Stell's shoulders. Well, his shoulder pads are a little higher, but this bad boy is massive. Stell stands about what, 8 inches, maybe close to 9. I love the fact that he is still in scale with the others. I almost picked up that big light and sound one, but I think he would have been too big and it would have been out of scale. I mean, Kilowog is supposed to be huge, but this is the appropriate amount of height and size over the other Green Lanterns. And Tomar Ray is my favorite Green Lantern, and there he is in his glory. And here he is compared to several other various sized DC UC and DC Direct or DC collectible figures. He's way taller than your smallest, which is Beast Boy, Kid Flash, Robin, Tim Drake Robin. And then he's like heads and shoulders taller than most of the other characters, a couple heads and shoulders taller than Aqualad and Wonder Woman, and like a good head and shoulders taller than most of the other Green Lanterns. Posability. You don't expect a character this burly to be extremely posable. I don't know about the Collect and Connect Kilowog, but this guy has just enough joints to get him in poses that you would do with a big guy, Here he is next to the Movie Masters Hulk, and he towers over that figure. Or, I'm sorry, Movie Series Hulk. He towers over that figure, which is still cool because Kilowog is alien, and, it's a whole different dynamic going on with that character versus the Hulk, but they look cool together. They don't look out of place. They just look like superheroes that should be doing the same thing in your collection. And I'm digging the fact that here's 2 different movies that the design aesthetics kind of match up. So it's not like, our artists are slacking. I do like the fact, though, that the Kilowog is huge, because he's a lumbering, huge, like, tank of a character. And I dig that. I've always dug that about his character. I mean, he's that drill sergeant that you don't want to screw with, And you can tell just by looking at him, he looks like a tough guy. But at the same time, for those of you who know who Kilowog is, you know that he is not, the biggest jerk. He's straight up a hero with heart, and that's an awesome thing to the character. An awesome asset to the character's personality, which makes him a little bit more interesting than Hal Jordan, to me at least. But he has enough articulation that you can get him in the iconic kind of Green Lantern-ish poses, which are not very, it's not difficult poses, really. It's flying poses with the arms outstretched at the sides, or flying with your ring hand pointing forward so you can use that powerful Green Lantern ring. Because he has good range of motion in his head as far as looking up and down, it's really easy to get him to fly properly. He's got better articulation in his head than anything else. He does not have swivels at his biceps, so some poses are kind of restricted. You can't have him cracking his knuckles or cupping his ring hand, which sucks, because that was one of the poses I was really waiting to have him displayed in, But the poses that you can get him in, they're nice. It doesn't look stupid. It looks very comic book, I don't have any issues with it, I might actually draw a picture of Kilowog using this figure as reference, because I usually dig movie style designs, because what is lacking in the comic is present here on the movie figure, and that's just subtle detailing. Here he is running around with his buddy Flash, Wally West, and I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a good figure. Awesome figure. I got mine for about $20. I think if you can find him, get him. I've seen him on Amazon for as little as 16, but it will come to about 25, 26 with shipping. Look for deals, man. All you people in the community, hit up Rats Collectibles. You can find them on Facebook. This is pretty much one of those figures that, you know, it wasn't a must-have, but if you like the Green Lantern, Kilowog is a must-have in your collection. Any version of Kilowog. If this happens to be the one you come across, it's not a bad deal. It's an awesome figure. It's pretty well done. I mean, he's lacking in articulation, but like I said, big figures don't need too much articulation or else they buckle under their own weight. So this is a, you know, it's a good figure. So, you know, if you love Kilowog, if you dig Michael Clarke Duncan and you want to, you know, have a figure that represents him in the comic book world, that's not fucking Kingpin or Balrog, get this Kilowog figure. Even though I liked him in the movie, I always thought that Michael Madsen was a better voice for Kilowog. You know, it's a good figure. Nice figure, awesome sculpt, really nice design, a very hefty, huge figure. Pick him up, you will not be sorry. I am Strident. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Peace outside, people.